Hello and welcome to my blog. Today is episode 2 and I am super excited to tell you this story. Okay, so over the weekend I went back to Kispiox Valley, back to where I grew up. I haven't been there much since I was 14 when I moved away. And I was so excited to go back home for my hometown rodeo. And I brought my daughter with me. She's just 15 months now, just over a year. And I was so excited to bring her there. It was pretty much her first rodeo. My husband and I did take her to Anaheim Lake when she was just a babe, but she was able to engage and enjoy it this time. So, are you in for a story? Okay, so we left on Friday, and Hartley was absolutely amazing for the trip, the best baby for traveling. We got there a good amount of time, and I went with my sister and her daughter as well too. And we went and met up with a couple of our old high school friends. And our cousin was in town as well, so we met up with them and had a visit, and they asked me if it was okay if I could drive them back to Southtown because they were all going to go to the rodeo dance, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I totally will be able to do that for you. I got baby, and I'm almost 8 months pregnant, so yeah, it's been an interesting trip. But anyways, so yeah, they all got tickets for the dance, and we went to my aunt and uncle's and visited with them for a while, and Hartley got to pet their horses, and then we all went to the rodeo grounds and set up camp, and then they all went to the dance, but my cousin had stayed behind and visited with me and the girls for a while. So that was fun. So that was nice to catch up, and Hartley was amazing. She just fell asleep on me around the fire, and Taylor just sat there and relaxed with me, and my cousin had a visit, and then the couple that I was driving home, we went and I drove them home around 1 o'clock, and the girls were passed out the whole way. So I got back, and then I forgot how loud and noisy it is to camp at a rodeo. And this is the first time for me going as a mom. And I'm a new mom. It's the first time being pregnant at a rodeo, so absolutely no drinking. Yeah, it was a big kind of shock for me again. It's been so long since I've camped out at a rodeo, and being a mom. So it was okay. I had an air mattress, so it really wasn't that uncomfortable, but Hartley, of course, was super attached to me because it's all loud. It's new surroundings. There's so many people around us. We're so used to being at home in our safe haven. She's not used to sleeping anywhere other than her crib. So she was attached to Mama the whole trip, which is fine because, once they become a toddler, you don't really get much closeness anymore. They kind of are too busy for you. They want to run around and do their own thing and be independent. So you don't get much baby snuggles when they're becoming a toddler. So that night I had fallen asleep around, I'm not sure, the sun was coming out, and the party was dying down around us when I finally got to sleep. And Hartley was super attached and just with my belly and her trying to get comfy, and yeah, so I fell asleep around somewhere when the sun was coming out. So that was okay. That was night 1. So we got up in the morning, and I got Hartley ready, and we had some pancake breakfast, which I absolutely love the pancake breakfast. It's one of my highlights of the rodeo, that and the barbecue beef on the bun. They're absolute must-haves if you go to the rodeo. My favorite. So we went and had some breakfast, and Hartley walked around, and we got ready for the rodeo. And the first performance was awesome. Heart was so tired, she passed out during the grand entry. So she slept on me for a while, and that was awesome. The only thing was, yeah, my back was starting to hurt, like with the belly and her on the stands, and it was like, oh man, okay, you can do this. But she absolutely loved watching the rodeo. Like, her eyes were glued. Like, I was so happy. It was a total proud mom moment because I love rodeo, so it was such a great thing to see my daughter just enjoying it, and she's dancing around, and there was people in the stands that I knew that grew up with me and known me since I was a young girl, so they just thought it was just awesome seeing her and making her laugh, and she just brings so much joy to everybody, and I just love her so much. But yeah, we got through the first performance. She actually sat with me the whole time, which is so surprising. Like, this baby was so amazing this whole trip. I'm just absolutely blown away by her. After the rodeo, we went into town to just go in and grab coffee and check our phones and stuff and grab some stuff, and Heart fell asleep on the way back, so I sat back with her while she had a nap in the truck, and I finally got to relax and, she was in her car seat, so I was sitting in the truck and just relaxing. So then we had gone to the camp that this family always, every year, they make chicken and they make food for everybody, and everybody kind of gets together that's involved in the rodeo and the community, and they have a fire, and it's awesome. So I went and grabbed a bite to eat and caught up with a couple people once Heart woke up. Then we had gone back to the camp because Heart was starting to get tired, so I went back to the camp, and I had so this is the interesting thing. When we were on the way to not to Prince George, it was almost Prince George when I realized I forgot the stroller. Yeah, this stroller right here. It was sitting at the tailgate, and I forgot to let my husband know to put it in the truck. I forgot. And yeah, don't do that, because yeah, you'll get a workout definitely on your body carrying a toddler around the whole weekend, and being 8 months pregnant. It was a lot. But anyways, so I was kind of confined to the camp because I was on my feet. They were so swollen. My back was hurting so bad. I just didn't feel like walking around too much, and Hartley is at the point where she doesn't want to hold my hand. She just wants to go off and explore, and if you look away for 2 seconds, she's gone. Gone and laughing, and thinks it's hilarious running away from me. So I had to learn how to do a lot of things holding her. So I had made a fire with one arm holding her because I was making a fire, and I had to set up set up the bed and set up camp all while holding her. So there was a point on Saturday night where I almost broke down in tears, because it was my first time being out in a social setting with a new toddler, being a new mom, being 8 months pregnant, being away from my family, my in-laws, and my husband. So yeah, and with no help, it can get a little overwhelming. She was an amazing baby, but for me, it was I would love to just have a minute. I would love to just, go run and grab something to eat without having to pack her. And if I put her down, she'll run off. So then I got to run after her. And I was getting exhausted. There was some weak moments. All you moms out there, kudos to you, especially single moms who have to do it by themselves all the time. Bless your hearts. You're absolutely amazing, and yeah, you guys just gotta take it easy on yourself, because I was beating myself up a lot, and I found, yeah, I had some breaking points, definitely. But anyways, so Saturday night, yeah, once Hartley fell asleep on me, oh yeah, bring a comfy camping chair, something comfy to sit in if you're gonna have your baby sleeping on you and stuff too, because support for your back is a must. So I sat around the fire with my baby sleeping on me, so that was amazing. I can't get enough baby cuddles like that. But I did get a little lonely, I'm not gonna lie, hearing everybody around me socializing, and usually I'm the one out there, you know, trying to talk to everybody as much as I can and like catch up with everybody. But I was, you know, at the campground because I didn't want to go and walk around and I had a sleeping baby. So it was a change for me. Definitely, I'm not gonna lie. It was a change. It was a good change because, you know, Heart keeps me out of trouble and everything, but it was a big change. It was a big realization coming to a rodeo, being pregnant, being a mom of a toddler. And like being a mom is a wild ride itself. Like it is a rodeo all in its own. Any mom will admit to that, being like, yeah, especially having a toddler, especially a young toddler who wants to explore everything and roam free and run and laugh and smile. So I had gone to bed, I think around midnight. I finally was able to put Hartley down so she could sleep and I could go out and enjoy the fire. But yeah, by myself at the fire, and around midnight is when I went to bed. But same thing, loud, noisy, everyone's out partying, having fun, socializing. Just how it is at a rodeo. So it was, yeah, sun was coming out, finally fell asleep. And then Sunday morning, Hart and I went and had pancakes again. And the rodeo was awesome. She had a nap before the rodeo on me, so that was cool. And I got to watch the Jill team warm up and stuff, and it brought back so many memories. Like, it was so awesome to bring her because as kids, like, I didn't realize how involved in this rodeo that we were, like me and my younger sisters. Even my mom was a volunteer too. We always were going to the work bees, and like me and my sister were in the Kispiox Valley drill team. So, you know, we were always at the grounds and we always looked forward to this rodeo as kids. Like, it was the highlight of our life, like literally. And yeah, so the performance went awesome. Heart was awesome. She was such a gem. She enjoyed it. She sat with me, danced around, absolutely loves the bull riding. Lucky me. I probably got another little steer rider on my hands. So yeah, that was awesome. And after the rodeo, everybody goes to the Allens, which is, they put on the rodeo basically and organize it, and all of the people they invite back are people who help put on the rodeo and some of the contestants and stuff. So I was pretty honored to be invited back, and we had never gotten to go after the rodeo before, so you know, bring my baby there. It was awesome. I haven't been at this house since I was just young, and so yeah, but at the end of the day, I was so exhausted, so tired. I had gotten barely any sleep, and I just wanted a break. But I was like, no, I gotta go because these people are amazing. They're absolutely wonderful. They bring so much joy around everybody. And, you know, they make dinner for everybody. And I didn't get to socialize much. So I'm like, okay, you can do this. You can push through. You can do this. So I did. And it was awesome. It was so amazing to be surrounded by so many wonderful people who remember who I am. Like, I had no idea how much, like, they loved seeing us girls, and they kept saying, like, oh, it's so nice, you know, that you come back, and you girls were such a big part of this rodeo, and such a big part of it all, and like, it brought me to tears. I was very touched, and like, I was so honored, you know. And yeah, my little sister, they always talk about her and how she went into the stick horse race. And she had backed up all the way to the fence. Like, I don't know what was going on with this kid, but it was the highlight of the rodeo, and it still is. Like, Joyce says that her and the announcer talk about it every year, all the time. Like, it's just hilarious. And, you know, to think that maybe next year I could take Hartley and put her in the stick horse race. And Like, it's so awesome. And, you know, like, Marina and I used to try and do all of the events, like the cowhide race and the rescue race, and it was just so good to see again and to be around these people that, you know, have known me since I was just a little kid. And probably the highlight of the trip was to be at the islands. And the highlight was, so there was so many kids, like all the rodeo kids were there. And Joy is just so amazing with kids. She was pulling things out of their ears, and they're just like, oh, Jean, can you do mine next? And this one little boy was just hilarious. Like, she acted like she pulled some cheese out of his ear, and it's like, oh, it's head cheese. And he like takes a big bite out of it, and like he was just so proud of this head cheese. And like there was jewelry and all this stuff. They were all lined up. They couldn't get enough. And it was just so nice to be around like somebody like that as a role model. Like, you know, I don't get to be around that much, and just seeing it and being a mom now, and I'm holding my sleeping baby, and Heart had so much fun there. She had toys and a crib, and like she was running around with the kids, and they have so many like mounts from hunting, and Hartley just like loved it. Like their house is like a museum, and oh, it was just so nice. Like, yeah, so we stayed there the night, and Joy made us breakfast, and we got to catch up. And that was definitely the highlight of the trip for me, was being surrounded by such wonderful people in the community that put on such a good rodeo. Like, my hat's off to them. They put on an amazing show. There was lots of rough stock riders there. Everything went smoothly. There was no big wrecks. You know, everybody was in good spirits, and that's what a rodeo is about, is bringing everyone together. And yeah, and I'm so happy I got to be a part of it this year and bring my daughter. And it was a learning curve for me, a learning experience. It was something different. And yeah, like that's what I got, is to just, you know, step out. And I was so worried to bring this kid because it was so new to me to be in a social setting. Plus, it made me realize how much I adore and love my husband, and how much he helps me when he's home, and how much my in-laws help me whenever we go out social setting. Like for my daughter, they help out so much. So I have so much appreciation for all of them, and so much love. And I have some new memories. So yes, like go out and make some memories. Like if you have kids, it's the best thing for them. Like Hartley was in her glory being around so many people, like waving at them, saying hi. Everyone couldn't get enough of her. Like she was just such a good, loving, like, she was so amazing. I'm so blown away. So yes, go and make some memories, and just get out there and have fun. And, you know, just know that if you're in a difficult situation, or you're feeling down or about yourself or something like that, just know like it's okay. And you'll look back and you'll think, oh man, what? It was just, I was in the moment. I was having a hard time. I was exhausted. And take it easy on yourself. So yeah, that's what I got for this episode. Stay tuned for next Wednesday for the next one. And happy trails. And thank you so much for tuning in.